Here we go. So for our first collectible, as we gain control of Jacob, go into the doorway located on your left. This will be Jacob's quarters. Go into the lockers in this room and you will find an audio diary here. So this will be the Jacob's job.
Okie dokie. We're now going to get the first audio diary. It's as we go down the elevator and after we figured out how to block and kill our first enemy. As we walk down, I think his name is Elias, talks to us during the comms, and look on the table, you will find the Ferris Lament. I've already got this log, so the reason why it doesn't come up. Now for your second collectible. So once we go into the surgery, or just before we go in, I should say, go back into the medical ward. So normally the robot should be patrolling around here, but now he's actually gone, he won't come back. So as we leave the medical ward, or the surgery, if you take a right and go towards the dead end, you will find that there's a collectible down here. Right next to the decontamination 122. This will be a collectible right here. Here we are for our next collectible. As we have got our new weapon, the electric baton thing. As we go back through the cells, you will notice there's a door that says cell block 25P 250. You will find a total of 3 enemies in this location. Now once you have done that, proceed over this born over case, and to the right, this is where we found Elias before. So in his cell, we will find the next collectible here. So for your next collectible, we are now in chapter 3 though, the aftermath. So there will be a point in the game where you'll need to find a soldier's or a officer's chip. All you have to do is just harvest this chip to get the first collectible.
I didn't have a choice. Inmates were tearing through the block. I had to.
Now for the next collectible. So previously we found the one located on the guard. Now shortly after that you will come into this next factory area. You can't really miss it, you need to proceed through this area anyway. So there will be 2 ways you can actually go. The left way, this is for the maintenance area, this is where you're meant to go. Go into the laundry area, the B2 block. This is where you're not meant to go. So this is like an exploration type deal. So this is another collectible that I've already found on my first playthrough. Just go to the back room. Feel free to look around this area for any goodies. But if you go into the back room itself, you'll find a dead guard on the ground. Just harvest his chip. This will be the next audio log. And now for the next audio log. So now we have leaving the laundry area. So back in the same room where we were previously. So where the laundry room B2 was and the doorway to the maintenance. Now we're actually going to go through the maintenance. And I found another room that I originally didn't find on my first run. But I found it later on in my run, but not in this location. So in this location, ignore the maintenance. Go directly straight. You'll see a monster in the screen. Now go into the workshop area. You need to break this panel. It takes some time getting here, but I'm going to show you the full video of it. So when you get here, you can either go through, I think you can go through here. I don't think you can though, but pick up the goodies. So there's 2 vents, one to the right, one to the left. We want to head to the one to the right, and this will take us into the next area. Now proceed through as normal. Don't worry, as far as my knowledge, I don't think nothing attacks you here. It's just an area. So drop down, just keep following the lights. The blue lights, that is. Do not drop down here. Not yet. Or, sorry, not climb up, I should say, not drop down. So keep going forward. Follow the blue light. And this will take you into the area that you can actually find this area in the late chapters. But if you find it now, you're getting the achievement for finding like this room. But in this room, you will find the Secret Room 1 log.
This will be my final report from here. The tower renovations are nearly complete.
So now basically what we have done, we have went through the maintenance and then we have to go through the medical ward C101. As soon as we enter the room, we'll find a dead doctor here and he will have the collectible on him. This one's very hard to miss. I know I've got this one already, but for some reason it shows the collectible loading up again from corpses, but never mind. We got it. What a lovely scene to admire. So you can't really miss it. Not really going to say much about this area, but as you enter through the area, you need to go left to do the objective, but if you go right and tuck yourself around the corner, you will find your next collectible. From what I remember, this is one of another collectibles that I've already got. So, alright, so once you have fallen down the elevator, eventually you'll come into the new room containing some new enemy types. As you go and proceed down through this area, you will find a spinning fan. Now we need to find a way to get to behind this. Very easy to do. Just go to the right side and just simply go around. So the right path here, this is where you're meant to go, but just keep going around to the left and you will find a body on the ground containing the next collectible. This one, once again, is not really that hard to find, so shouldn't be too bad to get to. Here we are again. After we have crossed the lift that brings us to the next area, you will find 2 of these fuses that we need to take with us. This next collectible is very easy to find. It's directly in the path where you need to go anyway, so it's quite difficult. So it's right there. So now, as you are now stuck in the cell, so where you save the inmate, this is where the next collectible will be. This was extremely hard to miss, so hopefully you guys pick it up before we leave out of here. Welcome to Chapter 4. So quite a ways into chapter, you will find you have to go through some sewers and you will find a new enemy type. Now once you land in this area, you will find a record in play just to your left here. Now ignore this direction, take a right, be careful of the enemy in this area. Now climb to the top of the ladder and you will find another dead body on the ground, but it's not on the body itself. Just look on the container next to it and you will find your first collectible of the level. Well, I'll say the level, the chapter. There's the body, there's a container, that's your first collectible. For the next one, this is very close from the last location, but as you go through the vent, you eventually come into this big room that will have 2 fuses. One fuse here and there's a fuse somewhere in the middle of the section. So you would need to take these 2 fuses anyway, it's all part of the story. But right next to this fuse and this door leading to the access hall, you will find a dead person containing your next collectible here. So make sure you harvest his little chip. And that will be it. Continuing on with our mission, eventually you will come to a place called the Water Control H262. So do not enter this doorway. Not yet anyway. If you just follow the walkway around, you will come to a storage hall. So you need to open this panel before this door is unlocked. Now for this one, this is going to be like an exploration area once again, so you don't really need to come here unless you want to explore stuff. Pretty basic. Go through the door, grab the fuse, and then put this fuse in the other area. Then this will unlock the next area containing your collectible and some goodies. For this next collectible, you cannot miss it. It's actually story progression.
Listen, if you can hear this, just shoot the tentacles or smash him with your baton.
In this area, you will find a hologram of 2 people arguing over this console area, and then one of them will run inside here to die. So in this area, we're going to go left and go into the botanical garden area. So basically, this is an area where you can actually explore, but there isn't really much here apart from a gun schematic. So to the left, there'll be a box. And if you shoot this thing here, this will stop a creature from attacking you. In the area, you won't see the gun here, but the schematic thing will be here, just around here somewhere. But the most important thing, we're going to grab the security audio log. For the next one, I don't really have to say much, but as you go through the misty area and eventually you'll come through this specific crawl space, you'll drop down to grab your next collectible, but this is also part of the story, so you need to grab this anyway.
Got the lockdown code.
Here we are now, we're going to get the last and final collectible of the area. So once we have done the previous switch, we have to go through this garden again and enter the new doorway. This is going to be the utility H630. So as we enter, you will find that there's a hatch that this is where we need to go. Ignore this for now and take a left and go into the hall. Now just go to the end of the hall. Of course, you got to use this to open the door. But go to the end of the hall and you will find 3 enemies. Once you've defeated them, you will also find a collectible, and this will be, hopefully, should be the last one of this level. If memory serves me correctly, I already got this one as well. Welcome to Chapter 5. After we have entered this gate, we have already seen our 2 friends, so to speak. As you enter the new compound section, you will find a building clearly where you need to go. Ignore this for now. Take a left and go into this building at the very back. It's quite dark back here, so it's hard to see, but if you do some exploring, you will find your next audio log in this room. For the next collectible, you cannot miss it. It's actually part of the story. So once you have cleared out the enemies in this open area, you'll hear a guy asking for help. He will then die, so to speak. And then you will find this just lay on the floor. Now once you go through the tunnels, and then you will eventually crawl through some debris. This is quite close to the last collectible. But as we go through the tunnels, we can go left, we can go right. So if you look right, you'll see a light here. If you see this light, you know you're in the right direction. Just do a 180, go into the back rooms, and then you will find your next collectible.
A new form of biophage capable of spontaneous combustion.
This one will seem like it will take forever to get to, but after you have now got your new weapon that Dani gives you, in this next control room you'll need to interact with this switch, but before doing that you will find a dead body on the floor containing your next collectible. As for my knowledge, you don't actually need to grab this, so you can actually miss it.
I tried to reach Ferris, but...
So along the way you will need to go to the other place to turn on the other switch. Eventually you will come into this room, so this will be the steam generator room area. Your character Jacob will mention that something's being jammed. All we need to do is just interact with this guy here and grab the collectible. Welcome back to our ship. So now as we enter, we're going to follow Dani inside. You'll notice that our pilot's now gone completely. As soon as you enter, go to the second door on your left this time. So remember, the first diary we picked up is in Jacob's room. Now we're going to go to our friend that is now dead. He will now contain another log for us.
Max, I need your advice.
Poor Max.
Did you see the footage?
Now for the next objective, all we have to do is follow Dani. After we have entered the new hangar, this is quite a magical hangar. On the left side, you will find a dead security guard. Just interact with him and you will get your next log.
What'd you do?
As you go to the next room, you will find multiple malfunctioning robots. Before going on to see Dani, if you look to the right hand side, you will find some steps, and right next to that is a container containing your next collectible. Welcome to the new chapter. So after we have fallen down somewhere, I'm going to say, and then you'll find yourself dangling on some wires. Now, as you gain control of your character, you will need to kill your first enemy. Now head down the stairway, then you shall see another enemy. I have already killed him. You will see him directly walk in this way, and you can clearly see your next collectible right here. So drop down and just go collect it. So for the next field log, shortly after going past your next shop, you will then go into this next area where you'll find a egg snake thing, and then you'll be having to kill a few bad guys. Here's the room that I'm in. Now as you go through the doorway, the correct way to go is to the right, and this will actually lead you to the next location. But instead of that, go left and you will find a crate on the floor containing a diary, well not a diary but a battery pack. But on the crate directly here, I've already picked it up now, you will find the next field log. After you have used the key card to gain access to the power station, I believe this is called. Now proceed on forward until you get to a part where you see a big long tunnel to your right. You can't really miss it, it's like glowing up with the light, but also you can go left. For the time being, let's go down the long corridor and go grab our next collectible. This one should be on a person's body, so it shouldn't be too difficult to find.
Those things, they killed them all. My whole...
Once again, quite a ways into the level, you'll get to a point where you will fight a spitter, and then you will find at least 3 crawlers, or the explosive crawlers. So as you go through this pile of rocks here, you squeeze through it, and then you'll find this ladder that you will need to progress up anyway. Once again, this area is all part of the story. Now before going into the doorway to your right, just head directly straight and go into the crawl space here. This will lead you into another secret area containing another diary. I believe this one's called Secret Room 2. After you have taken the tram, or the big massive mining equipment, you will have to fight a 2-headed monster. After the tram has stopped, and you now need to proceed off. So you see the exit door to the colony, but if you look to the left, this one's very well blended in, I think. It's just to the left, just before you step off the platform itself. Or sorry, just after you step off the platform.
Are you there? See the UJC response team. For the love of the gods, run the other way. Come on the platform.
At the start of chapter 7. This one's quite easy to find. Just look to the left, you'll find a dead body on the ground, and this will be the first collectible of the level.
No, they told us, man. A new life.
This one's another extremely easy to find. As soon as you see the tower, Dani will tell you to meet her there. Take the first door, head directly straight before going down the ladder. Interact with the shelf here and you will find the mining log number 2 here. This next collectible is pretty simple to find as well. So after you get into this new area, so shortly after going down the ladder, you will then need to proceed up this next ladder. You can't really miss it. This is actually part of the story. Now let's go to the first room to your right that has a green light that says unlocked. Here we go. Dun dun dun. Go in. Be careful, there will be an enemy here. And you will find your next mining log 3, I believe this is.
I've never seen anything like it. It came from...
This one's quite easy to find. As soon as you step off the elevator, you will find it directly on the floor. So in the path of this story progression.
I had no choice. Couldn't let it spread. Oh, they were all disposable, of course, but...
Shortly after the previous collectible, we want to head upstairs now. So to keep one of the stairs up, you'll find a creature run from this direction to the left. And you will find it says it's assigned bathroom and rooftops. Take the first doorway on your right once you get to the very top of the stairs. And inside you will find a dead body containing your next collectible. This will be the High Town.
UJC's gathering everybody up in the Hightown Square for vaccination.
Now for the next collectible. As you grab the next fuse, go through the doorway and you will find your next shop available to use. Now head up the ladder. So make sure you do everything beforehand. So search this area, do the shop, then come up the ladder. As soon as you come up, we'll see a short one of these explosion things jump down here. To the left, you will find your next collectible. This should be the minor log 4.
Please, you gotta help me! Sir, I need you to calm down.
For your next collectible. After you have taken the big long ride during the cutscene of this big lift, you will now see your next shop that you can interact with. As soon as you go through the next door, you will find your collectible just to the right, on top of this box. And now eventually we will find the warden once again. I like the hologram of him. Here he is. Now proceed down the hallway. You'll find a ward here with an enemy inside. If you want the goodies, then I recommend to let him actually come after you. If you don't care, then do whatever you need to do. Just pick up the collectible before we move on. And for your next audio log. So once we go through the psych block, we'll actually need to crawl through this space. You will find a dead body being dragged as well across this location. As you drop down, you will find the audio log directly here. So this one's quite hard to miss as well. And directly behind you in this area, you will find that there's a fuse. So right next to the story progression as well. So hopefully you guys don't miss it. When you hear the doctor say get inside now, you will find your next log just to the right. So can't really miss it because you have to go directly past it. And hopefully this should be your final collectible. So after you have taken up the elevator, you'll be in the nice and white area. So this is like the warden's office, so to speak. Go to your right hand side and you will find the next and final log.